Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me today. If you're passionate about classic cars and the golden age of American automotive design, you're in the right place. In this video, I want to take you back to 1960 and talk about a car that captured the essence of Buick luxury while still being approachable for the average buyer, the 1960 Buick LeSabre. This car was more than just transportation, it was a statement of style, comfort, and progress during a fascinating time in American history, and it deserves to be remembered and celebrated. The LeSabre was Buick's entry-level full-size model, introduced just a year earlier in 1959. By the time the 1960 model rolled out, Buick was already refining its image for a new decade. If you're familiar with the flamboyant, space-age designs of the late 1950s, you'll recall that Buick, like many automakers, went big with fins, chrome, and exaggerated styling cues. The 1959 Buick lineup was bold to the point of excess. But in 1960, the LeSabre and its siblings took a step in a different direction. Buick decided to refine, simplify, and present a cleaner design that still carried presence but avoided the over-the-top look of the prior year. This shift is part of what makes the 1960 LeSabre so interesting. It represents a moment of transition, a balance between the dramatic flair of the 50s and the more sophisticated styling of the 60s. From the outside, the 1960 Buick LeSabre exuded a wide, low, and confident stance. The body was slightly toned down compared to the 59, but still very striking. The fins at the rear were softened, reduced to sculpted blades that gave the car a modern flow without screaming for attention. The grille was bold and stretched across the front, filled with fine horizontal bars that gave it a look of width and strength. Twin headlights, slightly angled, added a futuristic touch, and the side profile carried smooth, flowing lines accented with chrome trim. The rear design was particularly distinctive, with taillights integrated into modest fins, making the car look stylish but no longer flamboyant. Buick found a way to make the LeSabre look modern, refined, and upscale, even though it was technically the most affordable model in the lineup. Step inside, and you were greeted with a cabin that delivered all the comfort and space a family could want in 1960. Buick understood that American buyers wanted not just style but also a sense of luxury, even in an entry-level model. The LeSabre delivered with wide bench seats that could easily fit 6 passengers, plenty of legroom, and an interior design full of chrome accents, bright work, and bold colors. The dashboard stretched wide, with large dials and controls that were easy to read and full of that jet-age inspiration that carmakers loved during the era. Upholstery choices included vinyl and cloth combinations, and buyers could choose from a variety of color schemes to match their personal taste. For those who wanted more, Buick offered options like air conditioning, power windows, and even power seats, which made the LeSabre feel upscale without crossing into the price range of more expensive Buicks. Under the hood, Buick gave the LeSabre the power it needed to move with authority. The standard engine was the 364 cubic inch nailhead V8, an engine known for its durability and torque. Depending on the setup, it produced between 250 and 300 horsepower, more than enough for a car of this size. Buyers could choose a manual transmission, but most went with the automatic, either Buick's 2-speed Dynaflow or the newer turbine drive. These transmissions emphasized smoothness over speed, and that was exactly what Buick was going for. The LeSabre wasn't a sports car, it was built to cruise, to glide down the new highways opening up across America, and to do it in comfort. When you pressed the accelerator, the nailhead delivered steady, effortless power, and when you settled into a long drive, the LeSabre's suspension soaked up bumps and kept passengers isolated from the roughness of the road. Driving a 1960 Buick LeSabre today is a unique experience. It feels massive compared to modern cars, and the steering is light and easy rather than precise. The brakes take more effort than we're used to now, but once you get into the rhythm of it, you understand why people love these cars. They weren't about speed or cornering, they were about smoothness, comfort, and the feeling of commanding the road. You sit behind the wheel, surrounded by chrome and style, floating along with the soft suspension, and it feels like a rolling living room designed for America's highways. What's fascinating about the 1960 LeSabre is how it reflects the culture of the time. America was moving into a new decade full of optimism. Suburbs were expanding, highways were being built, and families wanted cars that could carry them in style and comfort. Buick, with its reputation for prestige just below Cadillac, was the perfect brand to deliver that. The LeSabre gave buyers a chance to own a Buick without breaking the bank, and it became a popular choice for families who wanted more than just a basic car. Today, the 1960 LeSabre isn't as commonly seen at shows as some other classics. The 59 with its dramatic fins tends to draw more attention, and the later Buick muscle cars often steal the spotlight. But the 1960 LeSabre holds a special place in automotive history. It's a car that marked the beginning of a design shift and represents a unique balance between eras. Collectors who own them today appreciate the car for its clean lines, reliability, and the fact that it stands out in a sea of more common Chevys and Fords. It may not be the first car that comes to mind when you think of early 60s classics, but it's one that leaves a lasting impression when you see it up close. Owning and maintaining one today does come with challenges, as parts specific to the body and trim can be harder to find. However, the nailhead engine and many mechanical components were shared across the Buick lineup, which helps. For those who appreciate originality and Buick's unique design language, the 1960 LeSabre is a rewarding classic to own, drive, and preserve. It represents not just a car, but a moment in time when Buick was redefining its image for a new decade and when American car culture was at its peak. So as we look back at this full-size beauty, it's clear that the 1960 Buick LeSabre deserves recognition as more than just an entry-level model. It was a car that delivered comfort, power, and style in a package that families could be proud of. It carried Buick's prestige into more driveways, and it helped set the stage for the elegant, powerful Buicks that would follow throughout the 60s. Thank you so much for watching this detailed look back at the 1960 Buick LeSabre. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories, reviews, and insights about classic cars from across the decades, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, VeloView, for more automotive history brought to life. I'll see you in the next one.